Ready? Yeah. Hi, I'm Dave Rossum, founder of Rossum Electro Music, and I've been asked to talk about my new sampler here. I'd like to tell you about it. The sampler is called Assimil8or. We've announced development of it. What that means is we don't really have any hardware. This is just a mock-up here. There's no guts behind it. What we've done at the company is develop the mathematical models. We have a pretty good idea of exactly what we're going to do. The details of how we're going to do it are the development that we've announced we're starting. Assimil8or is a multi-timbral phase modulation sampler. What that means by multi-timbral is you have multiple channels. You have 8 different channels of sampling. This will have about 160 seconds of high quality sampling sound. You can expand that by lower sample rates, of course, through samples. And that can be divided as you like among the 8 different channels here. So each one can have a different sound. They can be triggered independently. They can be triggered simultaneously. You can get individual outputs over here or a mix of all the outputs over here. What's interesting about this from the modular system point of view, each channel has 3 control voltages, and you'll be able to assign that control voltage to a variety of different parameters. Pitch is the obvious one, the level of the sample is another one, but things like the bit depth or the start and sample, the start and loop ends are other examples. The phase modulation portion of this, one of the interesting parameters you'll be able to control, not only can you control pitch, but you actually can use a control voltage to control your position within the sample. So if you modulated that with low rates, it's sort of like doing a scratch type of modulation. At audio rates, you instead get phase modulation, very much like the FM or the Yamaha synthesizers. But with samples, it's a completely different parameter. That's one of the things we've modeled and we're very excited about. Some questions I've been asked about this. Everyone says, you know, what's the fidelity? What's the sample rate? With a sampler, it's kind of hard to answer the sample rate question because, of course, it's voltage controlled. But internally, we'll be able to sample at rates at least up to 96 kHz, and the internal format will be 24 bits. So it's a 2496 system if you just want to ask what its fidelity is. But you'll be able to reduce that bit depth and be able to reduce that sample rate arbitrarily as you want. The other question, of course, that we've been asked about all of our modules is, will you be able to update the firmware? And the answer is yes. We'll distribute firmware updates as audio files, and you'll just play in an audio file in a special mode that will update the firmware. We're not planning on adding a lot of new features. We like to have our products pretty much complete, but you do have the facility of upgrades if there's any bugs or anything new that we discover that we think everybody has to have. The other question people ask, of course, is what's the price? The answer is we don't know. And when is it going to be available? Our best guess is towards the end of the year, sometime in late fall. So that's Assimil8or. That's pretty much all I have to say about it right now.